English Parliament. And then there would be a caveat where it would say that only Anglo-Saxons would be allowed to stand for president. Now, and here some of you with gasps of horror. Well, actually, no, because in America, only people who were born in America and are American, right, and can prove they have American heritage can run for president. Right, I've made that clear. So it would be this, here, only people with Anglo-Saxon heritage would be able to run for president, right?
I don't have a problem with that.
The monarchy. England would almost certainly, well, we could either keep the monarchy, but I'm saying no, we need to get rid of the monarchy because it's a waste of time. We don't need it. And Scotland and Wales can have them. We don't need to waste our time anymore.
Don't fucking want them.
On the monarchy. Monarchy's
So she is, this bit makes me think she is strongly tough.
England would be the strongest claim in the UK's permanent seat on the UN Security Council, but it would most likely face significant diplomatic pressure to justify the status without the rest of the union. Well, yeah, there's going to be people, fucking moaning and complaining like they did over Brexit. Can you remember? But let them complain. We have a right. We have a right to want to be independent. We did not ask for Scotland, Northern Ireland, or fucking Wales to be part of this country, right? Economic and currency. England accounts for 80 to 85% of the current UK economy. As an independent state and a republic, its GDP, estimated at around 2.4 and 2.8 trillion, would still rank in amongst the world's top 10 economies. So no harm done there.
So Dan is saying now we've been a republic in our past, and it didn't go well.
I don't know. I'd have to go and have a look.
I'll see what I can find on that now.
Right. The pound would likely retain the pound sterling, and the Bank of England, independent of Scotland and Wales, would have to decide whether to create their own currency, seeking a currency union with... Now, let me read this again.
Okay, I'm just going to pause this. Right? This is the last time England was a republic.
Oh, yeah, Cromwell. But Wendy's gone on about this. Wendy's always been a Cromwellian, though.
Let's have a listen.
I remember in the early days she used to talk about it a lot before.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
And just said it was going live. And then just said it was going live.
Yeah, I think we're live now. I think we're live again.
Yeah, we're back.
Enjoy the video. I do not know what.
But it's not public, is it? No, but it's not. It's not public. I don't know where in the ether we are, but it's not public, unless it is.
Hold on.
Because the stream ended, and then it's just come up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and started a whole new live 32 seconds ago. But we're in the same room. I don't know where your live is. on the PC. Oh, hold on. Now you're back live. Okay, but it's a new live. Yeah.
Is that right now?
It's a complete new live, but there's 2 watching now at the minute. Started 1 minute ago.
Fucking hell! Wait for the room to fill up, man. I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know how you've done that. Yeah, that's confused me, but yeah.
Oh well, they'll have to come over, won't they?
Well, it's now showing your live, so yeah.
I don't know what, guys. I don't know what the fuck happened then. I didn't end the stream or nothing. That was just.
No, how are we still talking?
Either Restream had a wobbler, or YouTube had a wobbler.
Oh.
That's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, people are coming back anyway. Welcome back, guys. Fuck's sake. I don't know what happened. Either the fucking Restream or YouTube had a fucking 25 minutes. Like, he just kicked me out of that. Yeah?
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
haven't had that happen before.
I don't understand how we were still here, but everyone else got kicked out and it started a whole new one. But it's the same.
Yeah, so it must have been YouTube
No.
then. It must have been YouTube then. Because Restream kept us here, didn't it?
Well, it's back now. So
Okay, so
But-
where was we? Yeah, so we was a republic back in the day, guys. Taffy was just finding that particular video, and let's go from there again.
In this video, I will explain when England was a republic. This unique period in English history saw the nation governed without a king or queen, a stark departure from centuries of monarchy. It began after a tumultuous civil war, which culminated in the execution of the reigning monarch. For about 11 years, England experimented with new forms of governance, profoundly shaping its political landscape. We will explore the key events and figures that defined this extraordinary time. Following the execution of King Charles I, England was declared a commonwealth, a republic governed by Parliament. This new political structure sought to represent the people's will, moving away from monarchical rule. However, establishing this new system was far from easy. The Commonwealth faced significant internal divisions and external pressures, including ongoing conflicts in Ireland and Scotland, requiring strong leadership and military action to maintain stability. As the Commonwealth struggled, Oliver Cromwell, a powerful military leader, assumed the title of Lord Protector. This transition established the Protectorate, a period of more centralized, almost monarchical, rule without a king. The instrument of government, England's first written constitution, defined his powers. Cromwell's leadership brought stability, but also imposed strict puritanical laws, influencing daily life and culture across the nation. After Oliver Cromwell's death, the Protectorate quickly faltered. His son, Richard Cromwell, struggled to maintain control, leading to widespread political instability and a power vacuum. Many longed for the return of traditional governance. Ultimately, the monarchy was restored with King Charles II, marking the end of England's republican experiment. Despite its relatively short duration, this era profoundly influenced ideas about parliamentary power and individual liberties.
Thanks for watching.
That's interesting, right? Because obviously now King Charles III, yeah, we're on about scrapping him now, and his, yeah. So under Charles I, they lost it. The Republic come in, and then the people were screaming out for stability and the monarchy back, which was then restored under King Charles II, and they could lose it again on King Charles III. Madly.
Right, Tav, give me 5 minutes. I just want to make a drink and stuff, and I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened. It's weird.
Yeah. England killed their king. Shout at this.
You know this as Buckingham Palace, the home of the monarch of the United Kingdom, and today that's King Charles. But did you know at some point in history, England had no king, no queen. In fact, it was a republic, and it wasn't as long ago as you might think. Today, more and more people talk about abolishing the monarchy, but the truth is we already tried it once, and it didn't go very well. Now, for over 1,000 years, England has had kings, first in places like Wessex and East Anglia, and later united under one crown. But at some point, the monarchy completely disappeared. We had no king or queen, and it all started in the chaos of the 1640s.
The 1640s were a political powder keg. People were divided, not just on politics, but on religion, money, and who should run the country.
King Charles believed in a divine right of monarchs. He believed God chose them and they were answerable to no one. Of course, Parliament disagreed. They wanted a say in taxes, laws, in how the country was run. Now, Charles dissolved Parliament multiple times and he ruled alone for 11 years. He raised taxes and he tried to impose religious change that people hated. And of course, this did not end well. Tensions exploded into the English Civil War. Parliament's forces were pitted against the Royalist forces. But eventually, after a very tough battle, many battles actually, Parliament won. And it was right here at this building that Charles was executed in 1649. And at that point, the monarchy was abolished. A republic had been born.
You could think of what happened next as a military coup. And that's because even though Parliament ruled in name, in reality it was Oliver Cromwell, a single man that was controlling the army, and that's what was ruling the country.
In 1653, Cromwell declared
Yeah,
himself
but
Lord
Jeez, I'm more like Tigger. I like the bounce.
Protector, and his statue is still right next to Parliament, just down here.
You're right.
He effectively became the Republican head of state of the country.
But the Commonwealth was unstable from the start. Parliament was divided. The politicians and the military didn't trust each other, and the whole country was exhausted from the Civil War. In 1653, when Cromwell was declared Lord Protector and essentially ruler of the kingdom, he then decided to bring in a new constitution, a constitution written down for the first time. But there were big problems in the Republic. And part of it was because there was still a huge portion of the population and the politicians that wanted the monarchy back. They wanted the crown restored. But also there were radicals on the other side that wanted more radical change, more democracy. And essentially, at this point, the country was just ruled as a dictatorship. You could argue it was a monarchy without a crown and with arguably fewer rules. In 1658, Oliver Cromwell died, and his son Richard took over as Lord Protector. Now, this again sounds a lot like a monarchy where your son simply takes charge. And Richard, did not have the same authority as his father, Oliver. He absolutely did not do well at all, and it didn't take long before the whole system completely collapsed.
With the Republic falling apart, Parliament invited King Charles II to return from exile. He was the son of the executed king, and in 1660 the monarchy was restored. The Republic lasted just 11 years. It was a short and exciting chapter in English history. So yes, England was a republic, and then again it became a monarchy. Now what do you think? Do you think it was a disaster, or do you think the Republic was a glimpse of a future England? But if you look around us today, you can see hundreds, maybe thousands of people at a single moment in time coming to view the monarchy here. So what do you think about it? Is it good to remain a monarchy, or is it something we should throw away?
Let's be frank. They are German. They are a bunch of Germans. Yeah. Let's not forget that. They're not English. They're not fucking Welsh. They are a bunch of Germans, right? So if you look at it like that, nah, fuck them. Yeah. But, you should learn from history. Learn from history. If it's been tried. Yeah, reptilian German. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they changed their name to Windsor. Yeah, for Batten bollocks. Batten something, wasn't it? What was it? Batten? Mountbatten? Was it something like that? Anyway, they were German. So they haven't got like cultural ties to England or fuck all, really, are they? Yeah. Apart from the Queen, again, had a good 60 years of reign. Yeah. Or there. Yeah, Mountbatten. Like, bunch of Germans at the end of the day, ain't they? And the Germans were helped by the Muslims. So maybe that's where the ties come in. Yeah? To exterminate the Jews once upon a time. Detective Taff is on the case. I don't see. What's the poll is gone as well. What was the poll on? Did anybody see it before we got taken down? Let's go back to.
It would be up to the Bank of England. No, we would keep the pound, right? But Scotland or Wales, they would have to decide whether they wanted to fuck off back to the Union.
No, we'd have the shekel. We'd bring in the shekel. Yeah, I like the sound of shekels. Shekels and pairs.
You know, the old European Union. And they could have their Eurozone and they could have all of this, that and the other, but it's got nothing to do with us. That's what they can have. Internal borders would be led to significant trade friction. For example, if Scotland or a unified Ireland joined the EU, a hard border for goods and people might be required between them and England. I'm not going to moan about that. But who's going to moan about having hard borders in place? I'm not. You know, this is the, I've heard of people say we need to tear everything down and build it back up, and this is the only way to do it. We get rid of the monarchy. We become independent of Ireland, Scotland, Wales. We write our own constitution. I mean, this is in the constitution, but this is just what I've written for a constitution. It wouldn't be the constitution, if you know what I mean. It was just what the thoughts I've had. Because like I said, the constitution, our new constitution, would have to get written, and then every household in England would have to get a copy via the internet, and then there would have to be a vote. But also, there would have to be a caveat on this vote that you can only vote in person. You can't vote by post, and you can't vote online. The only way you can vote online is if you're disabled in any way. If you're disabled in any way and can't get to a voting outlet, you have to prove your disability, as in a letter from the doctor. But no more as postal voting and internet voting. No, it just wouldn't be happening anymore. No. Defence and overseas territories. England would remain the bulk of the UK's would retain, the bulk of the UK's military once it becomes a republic, and hardware due to its size and funding capacity. A major point of contention would be the nuclear deterrent Trident, which is currently based in Scotland. Now, when I wrote that, I then went and did a little bit of research on Trident. And yes, it would be difficult, right? It would be very difficult. Because, don't be under any illusion. We need Trident, right? We can't leave Trident in Scotland. It would have to be moved to a shipyard in England.
I can see them like taking down Windsor Palace brick by brick and rebuilding it.
Wendy will go marching in there and she'll go, get out of the way, Em. Yeah, get out of the way, Em Dash.
And
Yeah, we're
rebuilding
taking it. You fucking not nicking it off us. She is funny.
The bastard royal family, fucking House of Windsor in Wales. Rebuilding it brick by brick. Oh, no.
Right. The Scottish don't want it there anyway.
No.
Right. They're trying to get rid of it. They don't want it. That's fair enough with me. So it would cost a hell of a lot of money. But I think it would be worth it to move and invest in building a place in England that could,
Whereabouts
is
in
well
England is she
equipped.
thinking of putting it?
and we could move Trident down to England. Therefore, we're not relying on the Scottish to look after Trident, because they don't want it anyway, because it's, they just don't want it, right? Now, when it comes to the North Sea oil in the North
She proper thought about this, didn't she?
Yeah.
Sea, Scotland, unfortunately, would have dabs on that kind of thing. But we could also, before we actually, well, it's because of where it's placed. It is in Scotland, the oil in the North Sea. But then we'd have to get into discussions and, discussions and sort something out with them. And if they don't want to play ball, well, we can go to other countries where we already go to, Norway, for our gas and oil and everything. So it's not really a big deal.
Have to start fracking, Wendy.
So let's see, I've sorted out Trident, and I've come to the realisation that Scotland would want to keep their oil facility, but they can keep it because we don't really need it. And being as we've got the bigger GBDT, we actually do not need anything from fucking Scotland. Nothing. Nothing.
M Dash is really
Right.
pissed off.
Overseas territories. England would likely retain the control of most of the British overseas territories and crown dependencies, like Gibraltar or the Channel Islands. Though some, right? So what this is basically saying is, I'm so excited over this because it's a new England. This is a new England. This is a new way. Do you understand? Do you understand how big this is? This is a new way for us, right? So we're not trud up. We're not like looked over. We're not anymore.
Oh, Wendy, I beg you, if you are listening to Taft's this stream, and jump up and jump
Yeah,
up.
come on, Wend.
Yeah.
Let me send her a message to see if she's about.
Yeah.